Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we're making a fun, snarky sort of birthday card for a friend. And I have a stamp set from Ink Road Stamps that is a poop emoji type of stamp set. So I knew that I wanted to make, because I wanted to do something like shiny looking brownish, and I didn't have that color paste. So I'm going to make my own brownish colored paste here by mixing up the red and the green from this stamping paste. I thought about mixing in a few other colors from different brands, but since I only have the one spatula and I sort of was a little risky by sticking the cleanish side of the um, spatula into the other color, I decided not to mix different brands too. But here we are scraping it onto a piece of scrap cardstock. I just verified that where I'm scraping the paste onto is big enough for my stamp to fit. So there you saw that it was the um, Poop Rated R stamp set. And I'm just going to scrape this as flat as I can, or as smooth as I can, I should say. And um, here's a little note for my impatience. I tried to heat set that paste, and that was a bad idea because you know what? It started to bubble. So just be patient and let it air dry for a couple hours. Don't do what I did. Don't do that. So here we are trying to see if we can stamp on top of the paste. I've never tried this before. So first we're going to do it with VersaFine. Probably not the best choice because it's more of like a non-porous type of surface. So I did stamp and I was like, oh cool, it did stick. So I went over it after this with oh my gosh, what the heck? There you go. Um the Versamark ink or whatever it is. I think it's Versamark, but it's black and it's like permanent ink. So I went over it with that because I was concerned that the VersaFine wouldn't actually dry very well on there. So that's what we're doing. And now the rest of my sentiment, and we're going to work on my sentiment now because I'm going to do a little stamp surgery here. And we're going to stamp this on another scrap of cardstock, but I cut apart some of the words on that stamp set because I wanted to do holy shit, you're old. Um, and so some of those words were connected to be part of a string of sentiments. So I decided to cut them apart because in my thought process, number one, I can put them back together if I want to use them the way they're intended. Number two, if it's going to make it more useful for me and not make it unusable in the grand scheme of things, I might as well do it because, I've bought these things to be able to use them. And, if I can make them more useful for myself, then, so be it. We're going to do it. So that's what I did. I cut apart some words and we're writing this sentiment, holy shit, you're old. And there is, Ink Road Stamps did sell a PG version of this, so it said crap instead of shit. I just think that the shit is very funny. But it would be really funny if there was one that just said poop. Like, everything was poop. That would be really funny because my kids are obsessed with poop right now. So, yeah, I don't know. They think it's the funniest thing to talk about. So, it is what it is. I guess that's what happens when you have a 5-year-old and a 6-year-old. So now we're going to clean our stamps really quick. And um, my idea is that I'm gonna make this. I'm cutting it out of the scrap of cardstock right around the edges of the poop emoji thing. And my idea is that I'm gonna make it look like a balloon on the card front. Like at this point, this is the only thought process I have is that I want to make some regular balloons, and I want to make the poop emoji thing look like a balloon. It's kind of a running joke between myself and the recipient of this card about the poop emoji thing because I've made several different poop versions of cards throughout the years for this person. So I'm just going to dig through my scrap bin, my scrap containers, and I'm going to get some cardstocks that are big enough for me to die cut some balloons out of. And I'm kind of going for like a whole barrage of colors because it's a birthday card. So, you got to be fun. And I'm not really sure how many balloons I'm going to fit on the back of this card or behind the poop emoji thing. Because the poop emoji, let's be real, it has to be front and center because that's the funny part of the card. So we're just going to get these all out, and I'm going to get a metallic cardstock too. I don't, as much as I go through birthday cards, you'd think I would use these balloons and stuff more, but I don't. Like, I don't know why, but I don't use the balloons that much. I need to use them more because they're so cool. It's so much fun. So we're gonna use this. I don't remember what the stamp set is called, but I do know that this stamp set unfortunately is no longer available. I bought it like 5 years ago or something. But I will say you can do this same technique with any balloons. Like I'm pretty sure probably almost everybody has a balloon stamper die in their collection. And you don't need you don't need stamps to do this. You don't need dies. And actually, let's be real, you could actually freehand yourself some balloons if you really wanted to. You could just cut them out with scissors. But I'm appreciating the clean lines that the stamps and the dies are having. And since I have them in my collection, we're going to use them. All right, so I'm going to stamp out a whole bunch of different balloons. The stamp set that I'm using does have several different, like, I don't know, like patterns for the balloons, I guess. Um, and that's what we're doing right now is we're just stamping and gonna be die cutting out a bunch of balloons because I don't know how many I want to use and what um what arrangement and stuff like that I want to do with them. So we're gonna tape on the die when we put it through the die cutting machine, and there we go, cute little balloons. I love it. Um, and I don't know if I mention it later in the video or if I show it even, but after I die cut out a bunch of these balloons, I am gonna keep like a template kind of, and I'm gonna stick it back in the stamp and die set, because if you want to die cut and then stamp, it makes it easier to have a template to stick them in on your MISTI. Um, I don't know, it's just something that I have found helpful. So since I did not have a template in there to be able to do the die cutting and then the stamping, I did the stamping first and then the die cutting. But now I have a template that I have put in the stamp set, and I just feel like when I do stuff like that to make my life easier, it helps in the future. So like when I go out to go to craft again and I see that I have that template in there, it makes crafting easier. And so I try really hard to do things in the now when I'm crafting to make my future crafting easier. I have a whole video about how I like prep my stamps and everything like that when I first get them so that they're easier to use when I decide to use them. And I can link that in a card up in the corner. But here we're just making a whole bunch of balloons. I did use 2 different stamp sets and die sets for the balloons because I wanted 2 different sizes of balloons. I used the one you see me using right now, and I'm using, I think, is it? No, that's CatherinePooler inks. Sorry, CatherinePooler inks because they saturate really well and stuff. So I used the CatherinePooler inks to stamp to stamp all these different colors. And we're literally just going through all of our scraps, just stamping random shapes and stuff or random colors and patterns and stuff for these balloons because I really don't know like what I want yet. I just want it to be a fun, colorful birthday card. And some of them are going to be in black, some of them are going to be colorful. I just want to have fun with it. All right, yeah. This is taking a long time because I end up doing so many of them. But I did use an Altenew stamp set in addition to the one that I have here. The Altenew one, it didn't have as much stuff as I thought it would for doing the balloons. But I decided after I was like, ooh, this needs a little more, I don't know, visual interest. So I used this cover die from, I don't know, I'll link all the stuff in the description box below. It's been a little bit since I filmed this video, so I can't remember all the things that I used with their names. So I will link everything, or that if it's still available, or at least I'll put the name of it. So if you want to search for it or use something similar, then be my guest. The happy birthday sentiment that I embossed in gold that I didn't record, that is from the Altenew stamp set that has the balloons with it. And I can't remember the name of that one. Maybe it's called Birthday Greetings. I don't know. But I will link it in the description box below because it is still available. All right, so here's the finished product. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Have a great day. Bye.